Hey everyone, John Enter here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at a wave pattern long here on the Russell. Let me get my targets all in place here. So we've got the entry long here, 1170.4 going 4 contracts long. Stop is at 69.4, just a small little 10-tick stop on the low side there. Looking for the first target up at 72.0 for 16 ticks. So if we can get that one, just the 2 contracts by themselves, there we'll lock in 32 ticks. That puts us right where we want to be for a trade anyway on 4 contracts. So we're sitting pretty well just on the first target. The second target, if we can make it up there, we're looking at a second target, 73.5 for 31, which will essentially just double the profits, if not, well, actually triple. So we're looking at 32 off at the first one, and then we're looking to bank another 1 at 31, and then looking for the final target, which for some reason my chart isn't showing it up there. There we go. At 75 even, maybe 74.9 or so. And if we can get that one filled, then we're looking at a beautiful move to the upside. Final target at 45 more ticks. So if we can lock that one in, then we're looking at 108 ticks on the trade. So just kind of approaching these areas right now. It may take a little bit of time for this trade to work out, and it is counter trend. So if we go back and we zoom out a little bit, we can see that all morning the Russell has been falling off the planet, right? We've just been kind of crashing lower. We just recently had this nice reset to the upside. It took a little bit of time, and because of that, with that kind of a small reset, I'm almost more inclined to take more off at that first target, take 3 off there, and then look for 1 more to the runner. Because this is counter trend, we've got to be a little bit more aggressive on that target. So we're taking 3 contracts off at 16 instead. So 3 off at 16 will give us 48. Then we'll look to lock in another 31 on that final target for 79 on the trade. And again, it's a little bit more conservative to do it that way, but with as bearish as this market has been, we can't really anticipate the fact that it's just going to go rocketing higher from here, right? So we've got to play on the side of the trend and do what we can to lock in the profit that we can. So we got that first target locked in. Let's move the stop to break even plus 1 somewhere in there, and then we're just looking for that final target up at 73.5. Now again, this may take a little bit of time. It is counter trend, and usually those moves are a little bit slower. They can kind of take their sweet time, that's for sure. So 73.5 is the target. Stop is at break even plus 1. It is counter trend. Honestly, it wouldn't be a huge surprise to see it come back and stop us out here. Now, you more aggressive traders, for your stops, you can definitely lock in your stops a little bit more, especially when you start seeing more green continuation. Just lock your stop in where your target was before. That way if it comes back, you get locked out at essentially 4 targets or 4 contracts at your first target. You could do that as well. I'll leave my stop at break even plus 1 to give it the room that it needs to potentially work out, but if I start seeing some signs of aggression back to the downside again, there's no reason that we shouldn't just lock the stop in where we can. Right now, setting up for a beautiful wave pattern to the upside. And you can see we're starting to get a little bit wicky up here. You see that little wick that came in on the downside there. And we're also starting to form a little bit of a doji. There is more wicks back here. There's a lot of confusion up here. So if you see this coming, 1 tick away from your target, like we always talk about, then lock your target in, or lock your stop in rather, underneath that, and then see if it can go up and hit your target. Otherwise, you're out with at least a better profit than 1 tick. So looking for 73.5. We'll be back in a little bit and see if we can get that target filled. Oh, and actually didn't really even have to pause it. 73.4 came 1 tick away. Again, that's exactly what we were talking about. I don't want to give back this entire move up, especially since it's counter trend. So I'm going to lock my stop in at 72.6, and there we go. We got out. So it came 1 tick away from our target. You don't want to let it run all the way back on you. Give back all of that profit. When it comes 1 tick away, I'm more than happy just saying, okay, came 1 tick away. It's against the trend. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive and just take what I can get. So in that case, we locked in 22 ticks, and if it does come all the way back down, it'll really prove a point because now we took out 22 instead of 1, right? So plus 1 isn't necessarily bad. It's not a loss, but I'm much happier with $220 in the pocket. So in this case, we got out of the trade, took 4 contracts. I adjusted a little bit, took 3 off at the first one. So 16 times 3, that gives us 48 ticks in the first target, and we locked in another 22. So that gives us 70 ticks on the trade overall. Beautiful little wave pattern long. Again, it is against the trend, so it's a little bit more aggressive. I do anticipate, just like always, for us to roll right back over, or at least fluctuate a little bit here. A lot of times these reversals against the trend don't last very long, but we'll keep our eyes open. If it keeps going higher, then we'll just keep buying the pullbacks. But overall, that's going to be the trade. 70 ticks on it. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com, and as always, we'll catch you next time.